Hello, wonderful people of the internet, and welcome to Simply Healthy Living, the home of healthy, delicious food that is good for you and the planet. With Oslo going into yet another lockdown these days, I am craving a lot of kos, or hygge, a Scandinavian concept which you might have heard of. An apple cake is a cake that scores very high on the hygge factor. The warmth of cinnamon, sweetness of apples, and the moist quality of the cake never fails. Today we are making a healthier version with spelt and whole wheat flour, less sugar and extra apple, so that our kos is even more koselig. We start with 3 whole apples, which we core and peel before mashing to applesauce with our mixer. As you can see, it gets brown real fast, but that doesn't really matter. Just set aside when it's a nice even mush. Then we take 5 eggs and chuck them into a mixing bowl for beating. While you beat your eggs, gradually add 1 to 1.5 deciliters of refined sugar and 1 to 1.5 deciliters of brown sugar, as well as 2 teaspoons of vanilla. You can also replace some of the sugar with honey, but then add it in after you beat the eggs and sugar fluffy. When your egg mix, in a region, this state is referred to as eggdosis, is close to cream in color and stiff enough that dripping from the beater leaves a discernible mark on the surface. We add the rest of our ingredients. Today I am mixing 4 deciliters of spelt flour, which has high fiber content, and 3 deciliters of whole wheat flour. And here you can probably also experiment with oats. Then we have 1 deciliters of soy milk, 1.5 deciliters of vegetable oil, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, a generous teaspoon of cardamom powder, a pinch of salt, and finally our applesauce from before. Gently fold all of that into the batter until you are left with a smooth and clump-free batter. It might be a good idea to fold in gradually as well, adding your ingredients one and one, especially if your bowl is a bit small. When your batter is done, line a baking tray with parchment paper and pour in your batter. Oops, too much cake for the container! Hopefully you prepared a proportionate container, but if not, then just make a baby cake like I'm doing here. In this I just greased directly with a bit of oil. I didn't bother with the parchment, and that worked well too. The final part of this cake is the topping, which of course is more apples. 3 apples this time, which we core and peel before dicing into appropriate cubes. These we spread out onto the cake, gently pressing some of them into the batter to make for a more even distribution of apple. Then we are topping the whole shebang with a mix of rolled oats, cinnamon, liquid honey, vegetable oil, and roughly chopped almonds. Mix and adjust the different ingredients until you have a medium sticky granola-esque mix, and this we sprinkle on top of the cake. Now I didn't make enough, so definitely I recommend being more generous than I was here. When all of the topping has been distributed, we move this cake into the oven to bake for 30 to 40 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius or 392 degrees Fahrenheit. Mine was a bit well roasted on top after 40, so definitely keep a hawk's eye on it. And that's it! A healthier, super moist and delicious apple cake. Guaranteed to help with those hygge vibes. And I tested this out with a couple of friends before the social lockdown, so I know this is good. So get cooking, enjoy, and take care.